Hi everyone, my name is Ashley Smashley and welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be discussing my CRP bucket list. For those of you who do not know, I have been accepted into Disney's Cultural Representative Program, where I will be working in merchandise at the Canada Pavilion in Epcot. Disney's Cultural Representative Program is a program in which participants from all around the world come to work in Epcot to share their culture with Disney guests. This is not my first time being a cast member. I have been a cast member twice before on Disney's 2023 and 2024 cultural exchange programs. On those programs, I worked in merchandise both times, the first time at Disney's Animal Kingdom in Discovery Island, and the second time at Magic Kingdom on Main Street, USA. For those programs, they were literally only just for the summer, but this program, the Cultural Representative Program, is a year long. I will be living in Florida for a full calendar year, and I can't wait. My move-in date is September 15th, so it is rapidly approaching, and I will be there until the following September. As someone who regularly does vacations to Disney parks and someone who has worked there twice, I have done a lot of things on Disney property. However, there are a few things that I'd either like to repeat while on my Cultural Representative Program, or things that I've still never done. In this video, we will be looking at my CRP bucket list. Bucket lists are really fun to make because they just give a good baseline of what could I do on my day off. I do like the idea of a bucket list because it gives me the opportunity on a day off if I'm ever like, well, I don't really know what I want to do today. It's a fun thing to look back on and go, okay, I haven't done this yet, so today I'm going to do this. Even in a year spent down in Florida, I don't think I will get to everything on my bucket list. Never say never, but Disney is such a big property. Life happens. We'll see how much we're able to get done. So without further ado, let's chat about everything that is on my CRP bucket list. First of all, as an Epcot cast member, it is on my bucket list as my #1 item to attend every Epcot festival. I have already technically done this. I have been to all 4: Festival of the Arts, the Flower and Garden Festival, the Food and Wine Festival, and the Festival of the Holidays. However, the only ones that I've really truly fully experienced has been Flower and Garden and Food and Wine. That's because both my programs happen during those dates, and those are typically the times that we are in Disney anyway. Festival of the Arts I've really only been to one time, and Festival of the Holidays I know I've been to, but I don't really remember too much about it. For these festivals, I really want to invest in the menus that they have. I want to try different items from around the world and get some of my favorites. And I also just really want to dive into the activities they have. I'm really excited to spend more time on Festival of the Arts. Like I said, the one day that I went, it was just the one day. It was the last day of the festival. So we just kind of had a basic day going around doing our regular Epcot things, plus adding some of the Festival of the Arts. So I'm excited to dive a little deeper and spend some more time enjoying those festivals. Also, going along the theme of Epcot, I also want to try to drink around the world. Now, I don't know if I'll actually be able to do all of the countries in one day. I am not someone who drinks very regularly or drinks very heavily, so I think this would be more over a period of time, either doing a day where I drink and I snack around the world, where I get a couple of drinks around, or then a couple of snacks around, or have a water in one, or whatever. Do a little like minor version of it. Or just over time, I want to try at least one drink for every country. Right now, I love a moonshine sour. I love an Ottawa apple. But I definitely want to try like a Mexican margarita. I want to try, I think it's Kung Fu Punch in China. And just a couple of other drinks. I want to find some around the world that are something I like. Especially as someone who is going to be an Epcot cast member, I want to be able to give recommendations to guests when they come around. And yeah, I also want to maybe try a little bit more of Canada's drinks. Canada's a lot of beer though, and I'm not a beer girl, so we'll see about that. Another thing that I want to do is to wrap up my goal of staying at every Walt Disney World resort. This sounds like a lot, but I have 8 left. I have all 3 All-Stars, so music, movies, and sports. I have Boardwalk, Yacht and Beach Club, which Yacht Club I'm staying at in late September. Riviera and Fort Wilderness. I do love to do a staycation. During my past 2 programs, I had done staycations with Laura and Meal. We did Art of Animation and Polynesian in 2023. And then in 2024, Laura and I did Wilderness Lodge in Grand Floridian as well, which was so fun. So yeah, I think like a one-off night. I know All Stars might be easy if I have friends visiting. That's an easy, cheap one to do with friends. Yacht Club, like I said, I am going to be staying there in late September, so I'm super excited. But yeah, most of them are the Epcot resorts. I've never stayed at the Boardwalk, Yacht and Beach, and Riviera. So I think it would be fun to try to plan staycations for those nights. And on the theme of resorts, I also want to try a club level stay. So the reason why I'm acting as if this is attainable and not like $1,000 for an entire night is because cast members do often get discounts for resort hotels, especially in dead seasons when they do not have a lot of guests staying at different resorts. Cast members can get pretty much like 50% off resorts. So rooms that are typically super duper expensive still are expensive, but are a little more attainable and reasonable. Next up, this is one I've done before, but I want to do again. I want to do 4 parks in one day. In 2023, Laura and I spent a day doing 4 parks in one day. This was arguably when it was actually more challenging to do so because we couldn't park hop until 2 p.m. So we did Epcot, then we did Hollywood Studios, we went to Animal Kingdom, finished it off at Magic Kingdom, and yeah, we had such a fun day together going around. It was tiring, we got a lot of steps, but I do want to do this again. What's involved in a 4 parks in one day is that in every park you have to do a ride, eat a snack, take a picture with the park icon, and some people also add meeting a character. I really want to do this again. I think it would be fun to do either solo or with a friend, but that is also on the list. Because I'm arriving in September, I am arriving just in time for party season. When I arrive, we will be in the depth of Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween parties. I went to my first Halloween party last year with my mom and we had such a fun time. So if possible, I do want to do that again, as well as I want to do a Mickey's Very Merry Christmas party. The last Christmas party I went to was pre-COVID, so I want to see how it's changed, and I also just want to go again, because why not? And I also want to do Jollywood Nights for the first time. I have never been to Jollywood Nights. I've seen lots of content on it, and I think it's something that, even to do with my mom, would be really, really fun. If you follow me on Instagram, TikTok, or even here, you might have learned that over the last little bit I have tried to get into pin trading. Because of this, I do want to try to attend a pin event of some sort. There are a lot of third-party ones. Sometimes Disney has them as well, but those can be hard to get into. But I do want to go to a pin event and, yeah, just see what it's like. On the same line of pins, I do want to try to finish my Mickey ears collection from this 2025 Hidden Mickey set. I currently only need the Orange Bird Chaser and the Walt Disney World like Castle Chaser, Super Chaser. Those will be hard to get, but that's a goal. I also want to try to find some of the Wave B pins. I have not been since Wave B was released. I want to try to get the green characters and the bubble ones. And then of course I do want to go back to Pin HQ. I want to get a bigger pin folio for some of my trades, and yeah, I just want to maybe attend to that hobby a little bit more. I also want to attempt a Pin Drop Tuesday. For those of you who might not know the Disney Pin World, or you just don't know really Disney at all, every Tuesday there are limited edition pins or just new pins that arrive in the parks. It has become a real big thing. Disney pins have really taken off. I've hopped on the trend for sure. But every Tuesday, there are huge lines of people at all the parks for the pin stores to try to get their hands on these limited edition pins. So I want to try that. I want to try it at least once, see how it goes. I'm not crazy with it, but I do want to try. Speaking of third-party events, I also want to attend the Happiest Market. Since I was last there has been a little organization called the Happiest Market where different Disney small businesses and vendors come and sell their products at an event, and I think this is really fun. I've seen so many of my friends go, so many Disney creators go, and I have them in my calendar. I do know that they're having one in September and October and November and December, so I have those in my calendar. Depending on my schedule, I am going to try to go, but I think it would just be super cute to go and try it out. Another huge thing that I'm really looking forward to doing while living in Disney is Epic Universe. I have already been to Epic Universe. I went during previews in May, but I only got to do some of the attractions. I did the Yoshi ride, the Mario Kart ride, I went on Stardust Racers, and I met Toothless. I still haven't done the Donkey Kong coaster or any of the How to Train Your Dragon rides, and I also want to do the Harry Potter ride. So riding every ride at Epic Universe is the goal. Maybe not Monsters Unchanged because I'm a little bit of a baby. But the goal is to ride every ride at Epic Universe, just to say that I've completed that park. I'm still debating if I will get a Universal Annual Pass. It will really depend on who my friends are, what my days off look like, and what the real value of it is. But I do love Velocicoaster, I love Hagrid's. I don't necessarily love Universal too much, like Universal Park, but I do really like Islands of Adventure. And of course, if Epic Universe were to be added for some reason, it would be in my cart immediately. Another thing that is on my list is to go to Trader Sam's. Now, when I tell my friends that I haven't been to Trader Sam's, a lot of them are shocked. So it is on my list to get to Trader Sam's. It seems like such a cool experience, and yeah, I want to do it. Next up on the list is to spend an entire day riding Cosmic Rewind and seeing how many of the songs that I get. I have not done a program since Guardians left its virtual queue system. I was a virtual queue lover just because it's so nostalgic of my programs, waking up at 7 a.m. for all my friends and getting us a queue before work. But now that it doesn't have a virtual queue and we can just freely ride it, I figure, well, why not just ride it a bunch of times and see how many songs I can get? I feel like if I did that, it would be for like a video. So keep an eye out for that if I do have the opportunity to do that. I'm also curious how my body would react to that, so we'll see. Another really cool opportunity that cast members have sometimes is to do backstage tours. During my program in 2023, I did a backstage tour of Kilimanjaro Safaris. I got to do this because of my staffing at Animal Kingdom, but we woke up super early in the morning. We got to go on the trucks and see all the backstage operations. One of the cast members led us in the tour, and it just was really, really interesting. I want to try to do these for a couple of different rides, but these can be hard to get into, so we'll see how it goes. Fingers crossed. My absolute dream would be to do it for Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind because that's my favorite ride. If Big Thunder Mountain opens up, I'd love to do Big Thunder Mountain. Tron as well, love Tron. But honestly, anything that has availability. Flight of Passage, that's another one. But honestly, anything that has availability, I want to learn more about Disney, and I think it's a cool opportunity that cast members have. This might come as like a little controversial, but I want to work on all the major holidays. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I don't really want to work on Christmas, or it's busy and it's stressful and da-da-da-da. I know it is. I worked Magic Kingdom 4th of July 2 years in a row, but I just think holidays are fun. I think it's busy, so your shift goes by super fast. And honestly, most people are just happy to be there. Being in the States on the 4th of July is such a culture thing. The Americans love 4th of July. I, of course, want to work on Canada Day in the Canada Pavilion. I want to work on Christmas, which is a hot take. I do want to wish everyone Merry Christmas. I want to work on New Year's because Epcot just has such a cool vibe on New Year's. And then Halloween and Thanksgiving. I just think it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to work in a major area on major holidays. I just think it's cool. Once the new baseball season comes along, I do really want to try to go to Blue Jays spring training, and I would really like to go to a Blue Jays game in Tampa. I love the Jays. I have a personalized jersey. It reminds me of my dad, and I just think it'd be fun to go down while living there to show support for my home team. My last two items on my bucket list are big. One not as big as the other because I've done it before, but I would like to go back to Disneyland. As cast members, we do get free admission to the 4 Walt Disney theme parks, but we also get admission to Disneyland over in California. Laura and I did this for the first time on our 2023 program. This was my first time there and I had such a blast. We recently went in February of 2025 again, just because we found a deal and we were super excited to go. But of course, I would like to use this perk and have the opportunity to go to Disneyland again. And finally, the biggest goal of them all, not necessarily something that I'm absolutely banking on doing, but something that if it worked out would be super fun, would be to go to Disneyland Paris. Like how your tickets work over in Disneyland in California, they also work over in Paris. I have never been overseas. I have never been to Europe. I've never been outside of North America. And yeah, Disneyland Paris has been a goal for many years. It is my goal to go to every Disney theme park in the world. I'm not sure if we will get to that just because there are some Disneyland parks in areas that I don't necessarily wish to travel to. but Paris is one of them. I would love to go to Disneyland Paris and have a couple days at the parks, and then also tag on just Paris travel as well as maybe a trip to London as well. This would be much later in the program, but I think it would be really fun and really special to do something like that. Overall, right now, that's the bucket list. As time goes on, as I see more content, I'm sure I will add so much more to this list, but I do think most of it is pretty attainable. I am super excited to start my cultural representative program. I'm still preparing for it now, but if you would like to follow along on my CRP journeys, you are more than welcome to subscribe to this YouTube channel, as well as check me out on Instagram and TikTok. If you have any suggestions on awesome bucket list ideas for me to do on the CRP, you can also comment them down below. And if you have done a program, if you want to list out some things that you were super excited to do on your program, also feel free to comment them below. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I'm excited to share my CRP journey with you. I'll see you next time. Bye.